It began with a thin, cold line. A geologist reviewing satellite thermal data noticed something strange, a narrow streak of cold cutting through the desert floor. Not natural, not water, not a mineral fault. The line was too straight to measured. And it ended in a hexagon. Further scans deepened the mystery. A large, ring-shaped chamber surrounded the hexagon. Beneath that, at the very center, lay a voidone that returned no radar signal at all. As if the darkness itself swallowed the scan. An archaeological team was formed. Dr. Eleanor Marsh, lead archaeologist. Thomas Hale, structural analyst. Jenna Price, documentarian. Dr. Raj Amin, geophysicist. Leon Ward, expedition engineer. They were excited, hopeful, ready to make history. But the locals were afraid. One elder warned them, "The desert shifts because it breathes. Do not open what lies beneath it." They dismissed it as superstition. Their camp was set 2 kilometers from the anomaly. On the first night, strange vibrations echoed through the ground, slow, rhythmic, like a heartbeat in the sand. Then the cold intensified. Not normal desert cold, but something deeper. Heavier. On day 3, they began digging. The sand did not behave normally. It flowed back into the holes like water, filling any cavity they created. But they persisted, using reinforced supports and extraction tools. On day 7, Leon's shovel struck something. A smooth, black surface. No seams. No carvings. No symbols. A door. When touched, it felt warm, as if heated from within. While Eleanor theorized volcanic glass and Raj insisted on synthetic material, Jenna noticed something chilling. The sand was slowly sinking toward the door. Breathing inward. That night, the tapping began. Tock tock tock. Slow. Deliberate. Metallic. As if someone tapped from the other side. On day 9, the door opened. Not with force. Not by their tools. It opened on its own, sand sliding away, revealing a narrow corridor descending into cold darkness. The air smelled metallic, ancient, almost electric. They entered. Inside, their footsteps made no sound. The corridor absorbed noise, swallowed it. Even their breathing felt distant. After 30 meters, they reached a circular chamber supported by 6 pillars. The air was freezing. Their lights dimmed, struggling to remain lit. Then a second passage led to a hexagonal room with a pedestal in the center. The pedestal had a circular indentation as if something once rested there. The walls bore faint, desperate scratches. Long, curved, as if something had been pulled inward or tried to resist being pulled away. Then the tapping began again. From below. Tock tock tock. They proceeded toward the final chamber, the place the scans could not penetrate. What they found was not a room. It was a sphere. A 40-meter wide hollow sphere with perfectly smooth black walls. A circular opening at its center. A void so deep their lights disappeared into it. The darkness rippled like water shifting. Then the chamber hummed. A deep, resonant vibration pressed into their bones. Air pressure shifted. Frost formed on their lamps. Before they could retreat, the walls of the spherical room began sealing. Not with mechanical movement. Not with sliding doors. But by the walls simply becoming solid where the passage had been. Jenna shouted, "It's closing." They ran, barely escaping before the chamber sealed completely behind them. The desert's silence suddenly felt safer than any place underground. But the tapping followed. Tock tock tock. Inside the walls. Inside the corridors. Inside the stone itself. The structure was waking. They fled upward through the corridor. It felt longer than before, stretching, bending, pulsing subtly like a living throat. Their lights dimmed. Frost crept along the metal edges of their equipment. Finally, the exit glimmered ahead. The door was closing again. Leon shoved his pack into the narrowing gap, holding it long enough for the others to escape. He dove through just as the door slammed shut behind him. The sand flowed instantly over it. The entrance vanished. The tapping stopped. They lay on the ground, breathing hard, letting the sunlight thaw their frozen suits. Eleanor finally whispered, "We're leaving. Now." And they did. Back home, something followed them. Not physically, but in sensations. The cold returned first. Frost formed unexpectedly on metal tools. Rooms grew cold despite warm weather. Lights flickered at random. Then the tapping. Jenna heard it first, soft knocks against her wall at night. Raj heard it next, taps against research equipment that wasn't plugged in. Leon heard it everywhere. On doors. On paper. On glass. Talk, talk, talk. Each tap identical. Rhythmic. Measured. Their recordings from the chamber were wiped clean. Satellite data was confiscated. Reports heavily redacted. Someone was hiding the truth. But the truth wasn't done with them. Leon discovered a small frost-covered stone trapped in the tread of his boot. It remained ice cold no matter the temperature. One morning, Eleanor found a note inside her journal written in Leon's handwriting. "It's waking up." Raj ran simulations, trying to explain the chamber. None made sense. The walls were too seamless. The structure too precise. The void too unnatural. It wasn't a tomb, he finally said. It was a mechanism. Jenna agreed. Or a containment site. Eleanor's voice trembled. Or a warning. Weeks later, the tapping faded. The cold slowly lifted. Life returned to normal. Mostly. But none of them ever forgot the feeling inside, that chamber-y sense of something old, patient, listening. And beneath the nameless desert, seismic stations recorded rhythmic vibrations. Always the same pattern. 3 taps. Pause. 3 taps. The same rhythm they heard beneath the sand. The same rhythm that followed them home. Eleanor wrote one final journal entry. "Some secrets protect us by staying buried. Some doors stay closed for a reason. We opened a chamber the desert tried to hide. And only the desert knows what we awakened. The nameless desert remains unmarked. Unvisited. Unspoken. But satellite scans show something new, something chilling. The cold line beneath the sand has grown longer. The ring chamber pulses faintly, like a heartbeat. And the void, the central spherical chamber, has expanded. As if something inside it has begun to move. The desert, once silent, now trembles more often. Soft vibrations that match the rhythm the team heard underground. Authorities label them minor seismic disturbances. Locals call them something else. The heartbeat of the buried one. Scientists cannot explain the readings. Engineers cannot explain the structure. Historians cannot explain its origin. And the team, they do not speak publicly. They do not publish. They do not engage in interviews. But privately, they all know the same truth. The chamber was never abandoned. It was waiting. Waiting beneath the dunes. Waiting behind a seamless door. Waiting in a silence deeper than the desert itself. And now, it may not be waiting anymore.